The good news is that as at the time I'm making this recording, the police in Oyo State just busted those who kidnapped the relative of former Minister of Power. That's a very good news. It's been a kind of challenging period in the history of our nation, and every one of us know that. On the 15th of May, 2026, this year, some gunmen, they walk into school in Orire local government of your state, and they took 42 children and 7 of their teachers into the forest. In fact, one of the teachers, of course, a mathematics instructor named Michael Oyedokun, his captors unalive him, and they film it live for everyone to see. As I record this video, that is more than 3 weeks later, those children and the remaining teachers, they're still nowhere to be found. They're still not home yet. I want to see with every one of us, for a moment, not to compete for headline, but to give facts about the country we all live today. Before that, I want to welcome every one of you to this intelligence brief. I'm Oludare Ogunlana. I'm the founder and the CEO of Ogun Security Research and Strategic Consulting, an intelligence-based firm here in Texas, United States. And for this program, we look past the noise. We ask questions. We ask some of those harder questions that nobody's going to ask. Not only what happened, but what it means and what it demands of every one of us. And today I have only one subject. For some of you that have been following me in recent time, I've not been coming out with the series of videos because I've been busy doing some other things. It's only one topic: the security crisis in Nigeria, where we stand, where it stands right now, why it is spreading, and part of the war, which of course nobody's naming, nobody's talking about. And I want to start with the map first to know where we are. Let's look at what happened in Oyo State recently. In fact, I've been waiting for the police to release the list of the names of those who are behind the kidnap of Mr. Adelabu, the former Minister of Power. Are they Fulanis? Are they Yorubas? I'm coming to that later. So I'm starting from Oyo State because Oyo tells you how far this has traveled. In the past, the Southwest, for years, we think nothing will come to Southwest. We never believe this, this kind of violence, kidnapping, banditry. We never believe it's going to happen in the Southwest. And I want to tell every one of us today that that belief is gone. When our men, when they eat that 3 schools in a single coordinated attack in Orire local government, now the unalive teacher in captivity, and they are still holding all those children as I speak. The response on ground has been a kind of mix, a mix of grief, pressure, and confusion. Teachers across Nigeria, they are now on indefinite strike. The House of Representatives just passed a motion begging the law enforcement and security agencies to ensure that they bring all those kids home. Not only bring them home, but bring them home alive. They are warning that every hour lost, and those children are still with these bandits, we may risk losing them forever. And I share that, sentiment as well. The president has approved thousands of forest guards for area and also ordered the agency to act with immediate effect and automatic alacrity. As we are dealing with that, something happened, which I want everyone to please pay close attention to, because it's part of the story, which of course most people miss. A message went viral, claiming that those children and teachers that have been rescued alive. They attributed that claim to one of the special advisors to the president, which of course they don't name. The families, they allowed themselves to hope. The police then had to come out and issue statement after statement saying this was false. No rescue had taken place. They had to deny separately because there was another rumor that one of the kids already died in custody. So what we've seen here now is that the information space itself became a second battlefield. And I want you to hold that thought, because I will return to that very soon. Here is why Oyo is not an isolated tragedy, right? It is a symptom of a national condition. And if every one of us have seen that, I've seen a lot of people saying the same thing. If you go to North in Katsina State, on the 30th of May, bandits ambushed a retired Major General, that's Abubakar Abe, a former Director of Defense Information, the same man who always stood on the podium and spoke for armed forces. They took him and his wife. They shot his driver, but his driver was lucky, was able to drive the car to police station. So, as of today, they have demanded a prisoner exchange. They are not asking for money. They are asking for the release of their own detained members. And that is not the behavior of common criminals, if you look at that. And that is the behavior of organized force that believe it can negotiate with the state at power. So, now, if you look at it very well, that would be the second retired general that have been abducted in Katsina within a year. If you go to Ekiti State, gunmen attacked a church service in April, killed the pastor, and 16 worshippers, including young boys. I've been very cautious about not using the word, no, but let me say, they unalived the pastor, they abducted the 16 worshippers, including young boy. And as at this morning, as at this time I'm making this recording, today is 7th of June. More than 5 weeks later, they are still aired. A ransom of 10.5 million naira was paid. The captors simply demanded 50 million more. That's how bad it is. If you go to Borno State, the original heartland of this insurgency, last month, more than 400 people were taken in single Boko Haram operation. But up to today, nobody has been arrested. We don't even know those who are behind them. And this week, okay, today is Sunday. It's going to be last week, right? There was another attack on a military base where they killed soldiers and vigilante fighting beside them. Now, if you want to put numbers on them, according to one of the widely cited conflict data set, roughly 30,000 people have been killed in violence across Nigeria since 2003. Churches are suspending night vigils. In fact, I will not encourage anyone to go to night vigil. Like one of this comedian I follow,